Hello Art Foundation students, Mr. Lauer here. Just checking in with you guys via video to help you guys finish up your clay project and your clay unit. As you can see in front of me, I have a finished clay monster that I worked on in class. It is sitting out on the supply table as you guys have been storing your projects here. This is exactly where you guys are going to leave them, but you are going to leave them out of the bag compared to storing it in the bag. We do want these to start to dry out over the week you guys are on Thanksgiving break. So when you are done today at the end of the hour, I would love for you guys to pull your projects out of their bags and set them up here on the table. If you are not as fortunate as me to have some nice stubby little legs, please do lay your creature down. Try to lay them somewhere where their legs are not going to squish because of gravity. You can also make a little bed made out of your plastic bag and set them on top using the plastic bag or some paper towel to try to make them cushioned, as it were. You can also use some of the aprons if you would like to as well. My creature, though, has his stubby little legs and a little tail that also helps him stand, as you guys saw there momentarily. That helps them stand up, and they're hopefully not going to fall over. One of the last things that I did before I handed it in is I went through with my modeling tool and added some details, like poking some slots inside my creature's eyes, giving some slits for an apparent nose, adding on a little bit of a clay coil to make an eyebrow, adding on a tongue and some teeth with some extra clay, or just pushing in some grooves. I also added some details on the stomach. As you can see, as I turn my creature to the side, I also gave him a bony little tail by just taking a wood modeling tool or a plastic modeling tool and just putting a groove in there and wrapping that groove around in 3D and then attaching the tail to the back of my creature. Little horns are just little coils or cones smoothed out onto the top. One of the last things you guys need to do before handing it in is to make sure that your name is on it. And that's going to be as simple as grabbing a pen, taking your creature without destroying them, laying them down, holding them in your hand. I'm not, because I have to hold the camera, and just carving your initials in with a pen or one of the modeling tools. As seen here, I'm carving in the letter A and the letter L so that I have my initials on the bottom. That way, after they fire, I know whose is whose and what's what. I also recommend before handing in that you guys take a picture of your creature. Not saying anybody's is going to explode, but just in case there happens to be an air bubble that you might not have caught, you do want to have evidence that you still completed a creature before handing it in on Friday. So, to recap, I would like you guys to spend today adding in all of the last minute details, really working with your modeling tool to start to create some of those things. All I really did for my creature is add in some teeth and a tongue and some details like his scaled chest and his tail using the wood modeling tools. I'm now just remembering that you also want to poke a hole in with a needle tool. So if you do have a hollow area, which I do, and I don't have a needle tool next to me, you're going to want to make sure that you poke your hole somewhere where it's out of the way and does release that air out as well. I really don't want to record another video, so I'm not going to show you guys, but please take a modeling tool or ask somebody for help and poke a hole somewhere that you can let the air out. I have air throughout the case of my body. I also have air in my legs, but I poked a hole from the legs into the body, so now I just need to poke a hole out. What I'll probably do is take a needle tool and poke it through his eye so that the air lets out through the eye. Anyways, as I said, please make sure that you have your name on it or initials on it, that it is out of the bag, drying on the table, and that you've added in any last details with your modeling tool and smoothed out all your seams so nothing pops out or breaks off. Please take pictures not only of the front, but of the side of your project from both sides and the back so that I have 4 pictures and evidence of what your creature looked like in the round.
Rogers, please report to the main foyer. Mr. Rogers, please report to the main foyer.
And there's an announcement. But there's the 4th view of what my creature looks like. And I, of course, put my initials on my bottom leg so I know whose it is. Try to make sure those are done clearly. You can use a modeling tool or a pen. The video is now almost 5 minutes. I'm going to wish you guys luck. I am obviously coming back from my field trip at the end of the day, and I will look over all the creatures before I leave for the weekend and make sure that they are prepped and ready to dry out so that nothing bad happens to them next week. I will also be in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for meetings to ensure that they are drying out nicely. Thank you and have a good weekend.